HoYeon Jung has been famous for quite some time, but since her debut into the American market with her main role in Squid Games, her success has risen to insane levels internationally. The top model in Korea, she's become an internationally recognized model and has walked in New York Fashion Week for brands like Louis Vuitton and Givenchy. She is currently the brand ambassador for Louis Vuitton. Her first role in acting was in her performance in Squid Games, and it was so good that she very recently won a Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Drama Series. Today we're covering HoYeon Jung. Tomorrow though, you decide. Let us know in the comments down below who you think we should cover on the next episode of Where Are They Now? And while you're there, you may as well like this video so we know to keep making more content just like it. Let's get into it, shall we? HoYeon Jung was born in Seoul, South Korea. She knew from a young age that she would be in the limelight, at least when it came to modeling. Seeing opportunity in her naturally lean physique and tall stature, she enrolled in a performing arts university where she majored in modeling. Before she had even graduated high school, HoYeon was preparing for a career in modeling. At only 15, she began taking classes and working as a freelance model for magazines and fashion companies. She even walked in Seoul Fashion Week for 2 years, all before she was ever signed to an agency, which is an absolutely unheard of notion. While still freelancing, she auditioned for Korea's Next Top Model at 17, but quit after making it to the top 30. That next year, at 18, she signed with Esteem Models and again competed in Korea's Next Top Model, where after being eliminated in the 3rd episode and returning in the 5th, she placed 2nd. After that, she was in a music video and featured on Vogue, Elle, and W. Eventually, in 2016, after she had graduated from university, HoYeon wanted to pursue a more international modeling contract. So she signed with Elite Model Management, and before moving to New York, she randomly decided to dye her hair a fiery red, which became her modeling signature for years. Initially, the idea to change the color of her hair was super controversial, and it's usually not allowed for a model to change their appearance without consulting their agency first. But her agency respected her decision and allowed her to keep the red hair, which eventually became her signature. She made her international modeling debut in 2017 at New York Fashion Week. She later stated in an interview just how nervous she was about the show. Quote, "I had worked as a runway model for 6 years in Korea before I flew to New York. I was trained, but my past experiences didn't help ease my nervousness, all during my first show." She said, "I had mixed feelings in my first show. I was nervous, and at the same time I was thrilled because my dream came true." Shortly after, she'd start modeling for Marc Jacobs, Chanel, Fendi, and appearing in Harper's Bazaar, Love, and W Magazine, all while featuring on ad campaigns for Sephora and Gap. Also in that same year, she walked for Paris Fashion Week and became an exclusive model for Louis Vuitton for their Spring-Summer 2017 show. By 2018, she was named on the list of top 50 models and won an award in 2019 at the Asian Model Awards in Korea. She's walked for tons of different brands since then, including Burberry, Adidas, and Vera Wang. She still currently works as a model, despite being best known internationally for her role in Squid Games, and in 2022 she is now the face of Chanel No. 1. HoYeon decided that she would make her acting debut on the basis of the short lifespan of model careers. While she was still modeling overseas, Jung decided to start acting classes in South Korea when she would periodically return to her home country. Her first acting role was in the 2021 K-drama Squid Games, where she played Kang Se-byuk, a North Korean defector who was trying to reassemble her fractured family. On her video interview for the role, which she had to do because she was in New York at the time, she asked the director if she could audition again in person, and when she did, he gave her the role immediately. Her role was so well received on the show, which is the most watched television show on Netflix to date, that she is currently the most followed South Korean actress on Instagram, boasting 20 million followers. For her work in the role, HoYeon spoke with real-life North Korean defectors who had escaped their country's dictatorship and channeled the loneliness she felt while modeling abroad. She even wrote a journal from the perspective of her character to try and get into the role a little bit more. As for her personal life, HoYeon has been dating Lee Dong-hui since 2016, who is a fellow Korean actor. And much more recently, she attended the Screen Actors Guild Awards, wherein she won Screen Actor Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Drama Series. She won alongside her co-star Lee Young-jae, who also won for his respective male award. As a model, it's no surprise that she walked the red carpet in an extremely chic dress. Her floor-length black and silver gown is a tribute to her home country. Featuring custom traditional Korean embroidery and a meaningful ribbon in her hair, HoYeon wanted to, quote, create a look that was very glamorous but also mix in Korean aspects as well. Her stylist explained it as, quote, reminiscent of traditional Korean abalone furniture. Quote, I loved how Louis Vuitton mixed modern feel and Korean traditional aspects. The silhouette of the dress gives a modern chic vibe, and the jacquard fabric with the hand embroidery details gives the rich Korean cultural mood. So doing the nod to the traditional hair feels so on point. Complementing her look, Jung's hair paid homage to her heritage, as her dark locks were swept back into a braid adorned with a special hair tie, which was a modernized take on the Korean dengi, a traditional ribbon that was made from the same fabric as the dress. The idea came about after she saw the dress in the works. Quote, we started with the idea of the dengi later after the fitting in Paris. We loved the Korean aspect of the dress so much and wanted to make the whole look special for a special moment with Korean heritage. Her hairstylist stated, quote, the dress was so on point on how familiar it was to the motherland of Korea, yet how modern and cool it felt. I can't hide the fact that I was very emotional about how I got to be the one to style her hair into a modern version of the sleek traditional Korean braids and to put the dengi into HoYeon's hair. The show itself became the first non-English language series and the first Korean series to win SAG Awards on Sunday night, earning 3 awards out of 4 nominations. So now, HoYeon gets to bask in international fame and be properly recognized for her role in the show that shaped 2021. It truly was a cultural moment for the world, and although HoYeon is no stranger to fame, being that she was an internationally recognized model prior to acting, her level of attention has certainly increased. She even reminisces on this overnight fame in a Vogue article. When she was in a cafe in Beverly Hills, an extremely exclusive and fancy one that's called the Polo Lounge, she felt that no one was really paying her any mind. That was until the maitre d' slid a frothy latte in front of her. Peering up from the cup was Kang Se-byo, her Squid Game character, which had been realistically rendered in the milk foam. Se-byo coffee, isn't that crazy? My entire life changed in just 1 month, she said. Quote, she's thrilled by it all and thrilled to be back in New York where she lived for almost 4 years as a model. And so now, on top of being a successful SAG award-winning actress and top model, HoYeon is generally just living her life. Likely the success of the show will keep propelling her success in modeling and vice versa. I personally think we are far from hearing the last of HoYeon, and as Korean cinema becomes more popular in international markets, as seen with the movies Parasite and Oldboy, she could very likely become an instrumental character in the success of Korean cinema. So how do you feel about HoYeon's story? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, you may as well subscribe to Where Are They Now so you can keep updated on when we post our next video. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Where Are They Now. I've been your host, Sierra. See you guys next time.